All right, good morning everyone from my backyard currently being parked on by an M5 Touring. Today we have a 3.5-hour drive to Fort Wayne, Indiana for the Saturn Nationals show. And we will be taking this. This is a 2025 BMW M5 Touring. I will have a separate video going through this car, but BMW has been kind enough to let me get a few extra miles out of it for our road trip here today. So I am currently loading up the car, and as you can see, why it's parked so awkwardly is because I'm charging it. It is a plug-in hybrid, and the cord wasn't long enough, so I had to kind of park it weird. But we are taking the M5 out to Fort Wayne today. Got about a 3.5-hour drive ahead of us, so let's get to it. All right, so we made it to Indiana in the M5. The M5 did great, a little bit of a harsh ride, but honestly, we did like almost 30 miles in all electric mode. So we're getting some juice back up here. And then when the electric mode was depleted, we had 717 gas horsepower to work with, which was a bunch of fun. Killed a couple of bugs, but you know, it's a road trip vehicle. And so I'm far more smitten on this car than I was the M5 that I had a little while ago that was matte paint. So I'll make a whole video about this. But we are at the Auburn Core Duesenberg Museum here in Indiana. Absolutely awesome place to go. You got to check it out. But over here, we are going to do some reviews. So I have 6 cars, I believe, lined up, 6 Saturns lined up to review. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I'll do a quick montage of that. It's going to take me all day. It's going to take me at least 7 hours to do. So we'll probably catch up with you at the hotel tonight as a very exhausted form of myself. So let's go do some reviews. All right, I'm sitting in the BMW. Did 3 videos down, 3 to go. It is 91 degrees today. It is very, very warm, but getting some good work done. You can probably hear my fans on full blast right now. Just had some lunch, 3 more, and then we're done for the day. All right, so this is my final review of the day, a nice SW1. It's just about 7 o'clock, so I'm going to take this back, and then there's a pre-meet for the show tomorrow. So we're gonna go do a little pre-meet with the Saturns, and that'll end out our night. So enjoy what the pre-meet was able to bring. All right, time to say goodnight. About to check into the hotel. Wonder if anyone's ever stayed in a Holiday Inn Express with a brand new BMW M5, but I am. So tomorrow morning is the show. That's it. I think we might have gotten 1 car to film in the morning. I was talking to someone at the pre-meet, and he was like, hey, if you want to film it tomorrow morning, you can. So it's an SC. It's an SC. It's the 3rd generation. So we might film that. So see you guys in the morning. All right, good morning. We are on our way to the Auburn Core Duesenberg Museum to the Saturn National Show. So a little bit of a busy morning. We have like a 5-minute drive to the museum. So let's get cooking. right, it is now time to walk through the Saturn Nationals show, and I'm doing this as a voiceover because A, there was music playing, but B, I didn't want to out anyone if I accidentally recorded a conversation I wasn't supposed to. So, here we go. So starting off up at the stage, we have a couple of cars at the very front. This is Caleb's car. I actually reviewed this car several years ago, and he has since done an interesting sort of anime cartoon style paint job to it, which I think actually looks pretty cool. He had added like the speed lines and all of that such. So really cool to see older review cars up and around. I also reviewed the Chalkboard SL. You'll see this video on the channel here in a few days. This is really, really cool. And this was really fun because people got to come up and draw on it, color on it, and sort of add their own personal touch to the car and make a little bit of a, lasting impact at the show. So I thought that this was really cool. He brings his car every year that is owned by Tyler. Then we also have an SC2. You will see a review of this vehicle on my channel as well, and a lowered SC2. I love this sort of Japanese JDM style on this SC. I don't know if it's an SC2, but SC, really, really love that. So now we will walk through the rest of the show. This year, there was a highlight to bring your own memorabilia. There was actually an entire category for an award for memorabilia. So really, really cool collections that people brought of old school Saturn memorabilia. I love this stuff, and it's really jaw-dropping how much memorabilia there was at the time. I mean, all this memorabilia is at least 25, 30 years old. Look at how much there is. Old jackets that was given away during their millionth Saturn built, old photos and whatnot. So some really, really cool memorabilia on showcase here. Some t-shirts behind glass and whatnot. So we'll walk the rest of the show. This is a Homecoming Edition SL. This was a special edition done for the Homecoming event. I believe this SL was a Homecoming, or maybe this one was as well. Very, very clean cars. We do have a red SC here. Love this. Love that two-tone. This is an SL1. You'll see that video on the channel tomorrow, as well as these two SL2s. Actually, sorry, the white car is an SL2. This is an SL2, and that is an SW1 owned by Bree and Anthony. You'll see those videos on the channel here soon, and this is Bree and Anthony's memorabilia that they brought as well. So very, very cool, especially the cookie jar. Absolutely love that. So very, very cool. I have a review of all three of these first gen S series coming up soon on the channel. Walking to the next row, these are slightly organized in order of vintage. So the older cars are up here at the front. Absolutely love these older S series. Love this SC with the pop-up headlights. More first gens. Gotta love a gold one. This one is lowered. This orange wheeled white SL is pretty low, which was cool to see. Sort of, again, Japanese style taking over here. Super clean blue S series wagon, as well as a gold S series wagon. Love some SWs. More early S series pop-up headlights. Love the pop-up headlights. Super, super cool. Love the like Anki style wheels on this car as well. Another red first gen wagon. A second gen S series that looks like a Homecoming paint, but I'm not totally sure. Another S series. I'm gonna blow my voice out saying S series wagons, but tons of second gens here. Like these a lot. I love the wagons. And this one this is actually owned by my friend James, and he has an awesome memorabilia collection. The cookie jar with the lid, the semi, but coming around the back. Yep, you see it right there. He has a model of the EV1. So incredibly cool. Tons of awesome memorabilia owned by James. James is a really good friend of mine. I've reviewed so many of his vehicles. And this is actually a window sticker, our first window sticker of the day. You could see $15,000 brand new. You don't see that anymore. Like the cheapest car you can find here in the States is 22-ish. Another SC, this one again lowered, fender flares that were actually color matched really, really well, so I was impressed with that. Love that color. That copper color is just sensational as well. And I believe this was turboed. I believe so. So that was very, very cool to see. Again, some pretty heavily modified Saturns. Another SC, another SL. Love these cars. I never noticed how close together their headlights are until I started filming them. Another S-Series wagon. This one also, I believe, had a window sticker or something of the sort. S-Wagon, SW. Looks like it has some type of cold air intake. And then another SW with the flat wheels on, or wheel covers. Always love that. It's kind of cyberpunk-y to me. SL, 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 SL. Another one pulling in. This was filmed around, I think it was like 11 o'clock. So if you showed up after 11 o'clock, you might not be in this video, and I apologize. A clean SC, another window sticker. What do we have here? How much for it? I did not get close enough, apparently. But cheap. I'm sure cheap. SL, SC, and then an SC that seemingly has... Oh, something drove by. Seemingly has everything tacked onto it. We'll talk about it here in a second. Super clean SC, but then there's this. This is quite the showstopper. Every time I looked at it, I found something new, different, or interesting on it. I should have brought some shooting cars stickers and had the owner add it to the collection. It's quite a lot going on here. This is definitely, I identify as a Corvette is pretty funny. This is definitely something that catches your eye while walking around. It has these little turbo booster thrusters things on it. But this is, I believe, a 3rd gen SC, which is definitely cool. There you go. So that is, it's interesting. It's definitely something. Another clean SC. Love the wheels on this one as well. I think it's clean and simple. I believe this yellow one is a Bumblebee edition. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but there was a special edition of the SC that was like yellow with a yellow interior, and that looks like it. This is actually a postal wagon, so very, very cool. It is right-hand drive, however, for the American market. This is a Saturn View Redline, and I'll actually have a video of this on my channel as well with a giant speaker in the back. This Saturn View Redline is basically a car assembled around a speaker. So, you know, there's that. Very, very cool. Like I said, I'll have a full review of this Saturn View on the channel at some point. The owner was super cool to bring it down from Canada. More Saturn Views. So the cool thing is that the first year that they did this show, tons of memorabilia here. The first year that they did the show, it was mostly S-Series with like 1 or 2 views. I don't even think an L-Series came. But now the show is getting so big, we have a bunch of L-Series now, we have Ions, and, you know, all these different kinds of Saturns, which is definitely really, really cool to see the hobby expanding and reaching, you know, every nook and cranny of the Saturn lineup. So these are Saturn, there you go, Ion sedans. I was trying to get close to that. Apparently I didn't get close enough. Love the Ions. This is also an Ion Redline, I believe. This is, yep, that's a supercharged one. Very, very cool to see that. We have another one here that this had really low miles. If I remember correctly, I think it had like 20,000 miles on it. Such a clean and awesome example of the Ion Redline. You don't really see these much anymore. I've only ever reviewed one of them, but this was really, really special to take a look at with how low mileage and how clean this car was. Really, really special. So a little walk around there, and we'll go up here, and yep, 19,000 miles on it. So very, very cool to see a low mileage example. More Ions, of course, around here. Another View that seemed to sneak in without the other Views noticing. But this one, I believe, is turboed? Yes, turbocharged. So turbocharged 2.2, very interesting setup. I'm sure that would be an interesting vehicle to drive. Another Ion sedan, and then we have our Saturn Sky segment. So, a bunch of different Saturn Skies. I have not reviewed one. I really would like to. This one was interesting. So, this is a mallet Saturn Sky. So, a company out of, I believe, Ohio actually fit an LS engine under the hood. It looks completely factory, very well done. The headrests say mallet, and otherwise, you wouldn't even notice it from the outside besides the badging that it had a V8, of course, unless you heard it.
What's wild is that Mallet, the company, will actually fit an LS7 and turbo it for 900 horsepower into one of these cars. Absolutely insane. So that one was I believe 5.3 or 5.7. I think 5.3. So very, very cool there. More Saturn skies. The Saturn skies are interesting, especially in contexts like this. They're kind of starting to become a little Corvette-y. All the owners, they liked the open-top experience. They have their window stickers proudly shown. $32,000 for the Saturn Sky back in the day. Really, really cool to see that. But they are all really similar, so I see a lot of them starting to get modifications to sort of differentiate themselves. Love this color of the Saturn Sky. I think that's a really, really pretty color. And then this car, if I remember correctly, actually had some paint done to it. Maybe it was a different one. There was one that had really sparkly paint. I don't know which one it was. Anyway, this is like a greenish color. Really, really like that with the tan interior. That is one of my favorite color combos pretty much ever. We have a red striped sky. Love that. Pretty good looking. And this one seems to be lowered, different aftermarket wheels, things like that. So very, very cool to see all that. This is an L300 wagon. You will see this on the channel at some point. I did a full review of this. Very, very cool. L Series sedan, I believe. Yes. And then this is a Saturn Astra that has been rebadged to the Opel Astra. You will also see a review of this on my channel. So very, very cool. They were sold overseas as Opels. A previous owner rebadged everything on the car, top to bottom, to make it Opel. Even the key said Opel, the airbag said Opel, all of that stuff. So again, you'll see a review of that on the channel. And last but not least, there were two more lifted Saturn SLs that came after I recorded this, but this to me was my favorite car of the show. I did not get to drive it. I did not meet the owner, but it is very, very cool. I love cars that are lifted that have no business being lifted, and of course, this is one of them. So I think that that's super special. This year's show was absolutely wonderful. I hope you enjoyed walking around with me here today and showcasing the love that Saturn still gets.
And there you have it. Saturn Nationals over. I have a 3-hour on the dot drive home in the BMW. It was such a lovely event. They broke their record for amount of cars. It was over 80 cars at the event, which was just awesome. It was so cool. Everyone in the Saturn community is always so down to earth and awesome. It's great to see everyone again. Almost starts to feel like a family reunion. I wish they could call it homecoming, but I think there's some copyright stuff there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video of Saturn Nationals here in 2026. Saturn reviews are coming, so be on the lookout on the channel. The whole next week is just Saturn reviews that I shot here at Nationals, but also a couple other special videos. So be on the lookout for that. But until next time, take care, everyone.